here. All right. So first of all, welcome. Hi, everybody. I am recording this. I know a lot of people who are like, I want to get on, but tonight's not going to work. Which is totally fine. Anytime we have Zooms, especially last minute ones. I mean, anytime we have Zooms, if you guys can or can't get on, it's up to you, but I'll always record them so you can watch them later. But I'm super excited you guys are here. So a handful of us, there was 7 of us who went to Emrys Live this past weekend. And I'm not going to recap the actual conference. If you guys go to Ignite, Ashley did an incredible post earlier today, recapping the whole thing, literally every single day. She did such a fantastic job. And then then she posted something else saying, if you have any questions, let's filter all the questions through here so that we can, I'll help answer, and then I'll learn from each other's questions. And so anyways, but what I want to do is I want my team to share what was your biggest takeaway? What was your biggest aha? Why was conference so impactful? Because if you've never done something like this, it's really easy to think that it's just something to spend money on, or it's just time away from family. But it is like so much more than that. I mean, I think all of us cried the whole weekend. I mean, somebody was crying all the time at some point because there was so much good information given to us and a lot of meat. I keep thinking of, I've been to other conferences and I've left and I'm like, that was really entertaining. Or I maybe heard some fun things, but I didn't leave feeling like I had any meat to grab onto and run after my business and work my business. And there was just so much good stuff that they offered us this weekend. Plus, being in the presence of Aspen, Eileen, and Matthew is kind of undescribable. You just get to really know their heart, and their heart is for us. They just want us to win, and they do everything they can to make that happen. And so anyway, so I could go on and on about all of my ahas, but I really want to hear from you guys. And the reason not only do I want you guys to hear about the conference and be like, oh my gosh, that sounds amazing, and get some information, but right now, next year's tickets, they will be $299 eventually, but right now through November 1st, so that's just Friday, they are on sale for only $89. And so I really want you guys to hear a little bit, so that if you know that you want to make a business here, you know that you want to be at conference next year. And you have an entire year to plan that. And $89 is 70% off of the actual price. And so it's so significantly less. So anyways, who wants to go first? If you want to go first, just go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us why this weekend was so impactful and why it's so important to make sure you go next year. Jessica, you unmuted, so go ahead. Jess, can you turn your video on?
Start my video?
Yeah.
Okay, I wondered about that, but I wasn't going to do anything weird in the middle of something and be like, hi, everybody. Okay. I'm at. Okay. So I guess my biggest takeaway, and now it's funny because I should have written it down and maybe asked somebody earlier, but Matthew said comparison is, I can't remember. It was comparison is something is
it's
evil
the enemy,
or the enemy or something or
yeah.
other.
Comparison is the enemy.
That's okay. That's what I thought. Then that really stuck in my head because I get in my head a lot. So I find myself comparing myself to where others are at or what others are doing. And then I feel like maybe I'm not doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to stop comparing myself because I will get to where I'm going when I get there.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And not so much what other, where other people are at. They've been doing this longer or, and again, as a reflection of my own work. So,
and
that was my takeaway.
What's crazy about Jess getting in her head and feeling like she has to compare herself to other people is that, I mean, she just joined a month ago, and already she earned out of our entire Ignite team, which there is close to 2,000 people on our team. Only 20 people could earn a lunch with leader spot, and you had to work and earn points to do it. And Jess earned that. Kim also did, but Jess earned that. Also, out of thousands of people in the company, there was approximately 10 people who were chosen for the Emrys Spirit Award, which meant that they were regularly excited and promoting and sharing about Emrys. Jess won that award. and she promoted at conference. So what's crazy is that most people are looking at you thinking, holy crap, that's like so much that you earned. And yet you're in your head thinking you're not doing enough. And so that is why comparison is an enemy, because instead of you looking at the amazing things you've accomplished in such a short period of time, no one wants to see Onyx's butt.
Everybody wants to see Onyx.
So instead of, but so like that, it's so true. It doesn't seem to matter how good we're doing. It is so easy to automatically compare ourselves to everyone else. That is such a huge takeaway.
Right.
Comparison is the enemy. I love that. So one of the things that we did is anytime we had like a realization, we talked about, well, so what are we going to do to counter that? Like what action steps are we going to do to not do that anymore? So Jess, share what kind of things you're going to do to get out of your head.
Oh, I didn't prepare for that part. Well, I guess kind of I did, because that was one of my...
We talked about it.
We did talk about it.
Hi.
And here we go, being professional.
I saw the dust pretzels and went upstairs.
Sorry, guys. What did I say? Kim and I talked about, she told me that I could call her, or then Melissa said that I could call her, or anytime I get into my head and just like talk to somebody so they can talk me out of my head. Yep. And then I also just need to remember that I can't make a decision for anybody else.
Right.
That's not my choice to make. And if I don't ask, I am automatically making a decision for them.
Yep. So, yeah, exactly.
And I don't actually remember what else we talked about.
Those were the two,
how I was going to get out of my head.
The biggest thing was just talking to someone, reaching out. And like Kim offered, I've offered, really you can talk to anyone, but we stay in our head when we stay in our head when we stay alone.
Yep.
And when we can be vulnerable and reach out and be like, hey, I'm struggling today. I need to talk to you. Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, Jess. You can go ahead and mute yourself.
Yep.
Who else wants to share about their aha from this weekend?
I will. I'll say something. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Kim here. So I liked, obviously, a lot of things about it. One of the things that I liked Matthew doing, I've known Aspirin for years, but I really liked getting to get a better feel, more personal feel from Eileen and Matthew. And it really brought me closer to all of them. And so what I liked what Matthew said is when he compared us to an eagle. And the three things about an eagle is they soar above the storm, they aren't afraid to start over, and they don't eat leftovers. So they don't take the leftovers, it's like they're going to take and I don't mean this in a bad way, and he really expanded on each one of them, but we got to think of ourselves as eagles, because eagles are powerful, strong, but yet they take care of their own kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And he really expanded on it really well. And then one of the things that I really and I don't always go around preaching or talking the Lord. I wasn't raised in a home that, you got to go to church every Sunday and Jesus is, he's the way and everything. But one of the big things that really makes me, I can't even describe it in words, but they're not afraid to talk their beliefs and put him first. Mm-hmm. I don't know everybody's feelings on spirituality and religion and beliefs and stuff, but we don't have enough in the world that, there's just too many things going on that leaves, because a lot of people just leave Jesus out of their life, Mm-hmm. And this company isn't afraid to show that. And that part right there was like, wow, I've never been to one where they prayed over you or things like that. So that was one of my big things.
Yeah, I love that. Awesome. Thanks, Kim. Who else? Sandra, do you want to share? Julie? If you want to talk, you got to unmute yourself. There you
I
go.
was trying to get through it. I was hoping you'd see my mouth move.
I saw your mouth moving.
Yeah, I'll share. I mean, there was a lot of things, obviously, but I think the thing that's standing out in my mind at the moment, sorry, I have a bad cough, as you all know who are there. Maybe somebody will help me be able to quote this properly, but I really, really connected with Aspen when she spoke at the end when she was talking about her fear of flying. She's talked about just her being a mom and how it's hard to it has been hard to balance, especially when they were little, and trying not to feel guilty and all that. And that was really, really I don't know, like I connected with her a lot on that, and I appreciated the fact that like she shared that, because I feel it all the time.
Mhm.
And when she showed the picture of her little one, who is like 15 now, but at the time he was about my little boy's age, who's 3, and he was laying on her desk next to her while she worked, because it was month's end, and he just said, "I just want to be with you, Mommy." And so she talked about how she felt guilty a lot of times when she saw that picture. But that it was really encouraging to me to like, one of the things that I tell my kids all the time when they try to guilt me or make, sometimes they're not trying to guilt me. Sometimes they're just expressing their sadness that I can't be at this or that or whatever. But just reminding them that, that we're doing this for a reason, and that, that I can work on a schedule where they get to be with Daddy while I'm working, and that, that I'm there so much of the time, and they get to homeschool because this is what I do. Mm-hmm. And so that was really, I don't know, just a good reminder that that's the right thing to say, that I'm doing this for a reason. And also she was talking about how that little boy, his name is Mason, but he's older now, and how the example that they've given him of just like, working for your passions and working for, your own, the priorities that you've set in life, that is such a good example for your kids. And so, not letting my, the guilt feelings that I sometimes have become an excuse, but that's my reason for doing it.
Yeah.
And the other thing about her talk was when she said, "This is what I need help with," the quote of is the turbulence line, where she said basically turbulence is going to come and it's just like bumpy air or something.
Yeah, it's not turbulence is not dangerous.
So I really appreciated that line, because there's so many things that, even just like discouragement, that can be, turbulence, just things that that arise in our lives, and we just need to keep like plugging away and working through it, and not allow it to change our perspective on what we're doing, or making us feel like we can't continue, or we're not going to be good at this or whatever. But just like, just keep going. It's just part of life.
Yeah.
And
Julie just texted me. Hold on, Sandra. Julie just texted me. She's having some connection problems, so she can't get on and respond, but she had the quote that you were looking for. She said, "Turbulence is inevitable, but it is not dangerous." Talking about life.
Yeah.
We'll go through hard things, but it's not dangerous. Thanks, Julie. I love that. Okay. Sorry. Keep going.
Yeah. So, well, that's really it. I mean, we just have to keep plugging away. And I think that the only other thing that I would say is just that I think that it was really, really good to be around people in person who, even just from the stage, were telling their stories, and realizing that so many, I guess I've heard people's stories in this business, you know, especially people who like on this team, but I have never really considered the fact that they're like a lot of the people who are brand ambassadors with us across our teams have experienced something that feels like a miracle to them in their life through these products. And so that is something that I've experienced myself, but I think it sort of got me into this mode of like, I have people all around me who could be waiting for that miracle, you know, who might be struggling with mental health or pain or just depression, whatever it is. And this could be their ticket out of that situation or financially. If they were looking for a business opportunity. And so I think that is something that that was huge for me, that changed my perspective this weekend, that this is not something that that I can keep to myself. There's too many people who need it.
Well, and you did such a fantastic post today about it. I loved your post where you talked about how, I can't remember how you worded it, but basically like, I used to be a little bit maybe afraid or embarrassed to post. And now I'm realizing it's, what was the word you used? You remember? It was such a good word. Like it's basically, it's not.
I said I used to feel awkward.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's.
No, what was the word?
I don't remember.
It was so good.
I don't even remember what I said.
Okay, you should go find it and read it. It's so good.
I'm looking it up right now.
I also,
yeah.
While she's looking that up, one of my ahas was along with what Sandra said about, it wasn't even about, I mean, there were so many amazing things that happened on stage, but I have been in network marketing before and I've had products that were really great products, but they weren't life-changing. And I don't want to show up and put all my heart and soul into something that's just good. I want to put my heart and soul into something that transforms lives. And, and I knew that our products are amazing because of a few stories, but I was hearing story after story after story after story, just like in group conversations and one-on-one conversations, and nobody could talk through their story of using our products without bawling because their lives are so completely different, or their kids' lives are so completely different, or their spouses or whatever. Ashley, if you guys don't know Ashley yet, she is our upline. She is the #1 income earner of the company. She is the most amazing leader I have literally prayed for her in my life for the last 6 years. But her husband, who is fantastic, his name is Mike, his story, I mean, it talks about how, he doesn't use the word suicidal because we can't use medical words like that. But basically he was in this place where he didn't want to live anymore. And the products brought him to a place where he is just like joy. And Crystal Terry, who is not on tonight because she isn't feeling great, need to go to bed, and you guys are going to love her, but she has to be very careful with her health. She is the one, if you see any of our pictures, the one in the wheelchair. She lost her leg by amputation about 10 years ago because of an infection in her body. And she was just kind of living this life where she was in bed all the time or on the couch all the time, and just like she wouldn't eat dinner at the dinner table. She was very disengaged, and I'm not sharing anything that she wouldn't share with you guys. So I'm not like giving away her private thoughts. She shares this publicly on Facebook, but I don't think I realized to the extent that her depression was. And she said, because I shared about my life and about these products and what these products did in my life, she decided to give it a try. And it has literally changed her life. I mean, she went from never getting out of bed to flying halfway across the country to attend this conference. And her kids tell her regularly, they're like, I don't even recognize you, Mom. Like, who are you? This is not the mom that we remember. Because she's like, they were so little when before her leg was amputated. They don't really remember her like that. And she said to us one night in our room, she was like, I don't actually know if I would be alive if Melissa had not shared her story and shared about the products. And that was like all of these stories, but hers was so big. Like when Sandra says someone's life might be on the line, like that's not a joke, you guys. Like there are people desperate for a solution to their pain or their sadness or their all these things. And it blows my mind. So yeah, that was a huge aha for me this weekend. And Sandra, did you find what you said?
I did. I said imperative. I went from feeling like it's awkward to it's imperative that I share. And I said it was that it could be a lifeline for people.
Yes, it's so true. I love that. Okay, so Julie just texted me. So Julie is on, but she's having some connection problems. So she's having a hard time getting on to like share. So she wanted me to share with you guys that, so there was a session where one of the Circle founding members, Jessica Pearson, and another girl, Bonnie L. Trudeau, they talked about using social media. And she said we need to be ourselves. Don't be a commercial, which is so true. We don't want to be a billboard. We don't want to be, people don't pay attention to billboards. They said, no one is you, and that is your power. So when you're using social media and you're posting, be you, whatever that means. If you're funny, be funny. If you're serious, be serious. If you're intense, be intense. If you're all those things, be all those things. Just make sure to be you. And you can use other people for inspiration, but don't copy and paste. Like, people can tell if you're not saying your words. I remember one time my cousin, this is a little bit of a side note, but this is so true about our voice, is that my cousin had written a letter that her and her husband used to do mission work somewhere, and they would send like monthly newsletters. This is before like email was a big thing. And I thought it was my girl cousin who had written it. And I'm reading this letter and I'm like, this sounds so stupid. Why is she talking like this? Like this, I just don't understand what she's doing. And then I got to the bottom and realized her husband had signed it. And then immediately the letter didn't sound stupid anymore. Now it sounded normal. Now it sounded just like him. But when I thought that it was her voice in that letter, I was like, she would never talk like this. So it's really true. We really need to be ourselves, because people can tell when we're not being ourselves. And then I didn't hear this one, so I'm assuming I know what this means. Julie, as I quote it and I share about it, text me if I'm wrong, if I'm saying this wrong. Someone, I'm assuming it was Bonnie and Jessica, said, become the hunted, not the hunter. And I'm assuming what they were talking about, because I missed that, was that they were saying we don't want to go hunting after people to be our business partners and to be our customers. Yes, we want to connect with people and follow up, but we want to present ourselves in such a way that people want to come to us. I'm assuming that that's what they meant. And that is so true. She said, yes, that's exactly what that meant. And then Julie Leonard talked about the importance of self-care. We need to be a product of the product. It's so, this is actually, I loved this session because, and so I'm going to speak into this a little bit, Julie, is the last business I was at, taking care of yourself was not valued. It was almost made fun of. I remember so BV was what we called product value. And so they would say things like, there's no BV in sleep, and there's no BV in exercise, and there's no BV in showers, and there's no BV in eating well. And I actually, that was my first real experience with network marketing. And I remember thinking, okay, so I'm supposed to stop exercising? Like, I felt like I had to apologize for exercising. Or if I took time out to cook and like hang out with my family, I felt like I had to apologize for that. And that burns people out. And that's not healthy. That's not normal. That is not why we do this business. So I really like that, that she took time to talk about the importance of self-care. What that looks like to you, obviously, will be different. I actually gained a bunch of weight in that business because I stopped taking care of myself, because I stopped eating well, and I stopped exercising because I felt like I had to do it in secret. That's so weird. Oh, and she said it was Eileen, not Julie Leonard. I was thinking it was Eileen, but I was like, I get everything wrong. So Eileen was actually the one who talked about making sure you take care of yourself, which is incredible that one of the co-founders, who clearly wants us to rock these businesses and blow up this company, is saying to take care of self-care. So I love that that's coming from the very top. So, okay, we will wrap this up. But first, before we get off, can you, I want to just take like 10 more minutes. I want to take like 5 minutes for anyone to share with the people on who did not go to conference. Why do they need to get to conference next year? Anybody want to speak into that? And then we'll take 5 minutes, and anybody who wasn't there, if you guys have any questions, we'd love to hear from you. Jessica, Kim, Sandra.
Okay, I moved, so you might be able to hear the TV, but staying close to the fire. They kept saying that you need to stay close to the fire because it definitely helps you from comparing to other people and keeps you motivated. And it's so much different, like doing these Zoom meetings, because they happen 3 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
They're super helpful, but it's totally different being there with them and having them pour into you that way. And just like, what are you guys doing?
Like being able to hug each other, and touch each other, and see each other. Berg boys,
Sorry.
quiet.
I know. Like, I thought they were laughing at me is what I thought they were doing, but David dropped something on Lucas's head, and Lucas is sleeping. So that's what happened over there. Way to go, David.
It's true. Being close to the fire it's so huge. You can't duplicate being in the presence of other people. So thank you, Beth. You mute, and then Kim, you had something you wanted to add?
Well, of course it's important just to go hear the new things first. It's always exciting, and the excitement that you feel in a group of people, but you get more of a sense of belonging, and everybody likes to feel like they belong. So you get that when you go to these, because you get to meet the people that created all this, So, and they have a wonderful way of making you feel like you're the only one there at the moment that they're talking to you, So a sense of belonging.
It's so true. Not only belonging with the corporate team, but belonging with your teammates. I mean, we have a huge team. And I was telling Ashley, I said, I have been to so many conferences over the last 6 years, and I've never been to a conference where I actually knew less people going to this conference because we're so new, and a lot of people know each other because our Nebraska team is huge and our Michigan team is huge. And so a lot of them, okay, we need to sign off in about 10 minutes. Okay, I just got a warning, sorry. But a lot of them know each other. And so, and I was like, I walked into this place with 6 of my teammates who most of us hadn't met before, and that felt amazing and comfortable. And then we walk in to be with all of our Ignite teammates, and it just felt like home. Like it just felt like we fit there and we belong there. It was really incredible. Julie said that she says you have to go to get to know your team and to learn from the top. And it's so true. I mean, network marketing can be very lonely. So, and that's when we quit. That's when we walk away, is when we don't get to know each other. We don't make relationships. And then she said she had a blast with all of us, which is true. We were really fun. Sandra, do you have anything you want to add quick? Like 1 minute.
Okay. Yeah. So I think just being surrounded by it for a couple of days is you reflect who you're with. And so I think kind of being around it helps to just make you feel like this is who I am. This is what I'm a part of. I'm not just like on the sidelines of it.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think it helps people take ownership in a major way.
It's true. And what I have found is that when you invest in something like flying across the country and attending something, you're creating ownership because you're saying this matters. Like our money goes where it matters, or what matters to us, where our priorities are. And so time and money, when we put time and money into something, we're going to run after it differently. And also, it shows our network that this is real. Network marketing is incredible, and it is like the best business model I think that exists. But a lot of people get in and get out and get in and get out and get in and out. And so it's something that proves to our network that we're all in, like this is happening. Crystal Graham, who's on here, she did not come this year, but she has already purchased her ticket. She sent me money right away so that we could get her a ticket when we were at conference for the $89. But that is on sale through November 1st. And so if you're like, I know that I want this next year to be life-changing, get your ticket now. Don't wait until it's $300. And then you're like, dang it, I should have gone and it was $89. So do any of you, before we get off, do any of you who weren't there have any questions for us? That is good. Shake your head, Margot, if it's yes or no. Okay. Crystal and Carolyn, I can't see you guys, but so either unmute now, otherwise we'll be done. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for sharing your ahas.
Hey.
And,
Hey.
Hi.
This is Carolyn. Yes, thank you. I just got home. I heard lots of good things. I guess I better buy a ticket.
You better buy a ticket. Sandra, do you remember what website it is? Which is it? Emirates Live?
Kim will help me.
Okay. I was going to share it with everyone and I forgot to look. And it looks like Sandra's frozen.
Emirates Live.
It is emryslive.com. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So go to emryslive.com. And all right, Carolyn, did you want to say anything else or ask anything?
Boy, looking forward to my product getting here. Well, actually, I had ordered one bottle and I started taking it again last night. And my husband and I are going to be diligent. So
Awesome.
we're committed to make it work.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the team. I know you just joined, so I am so
Thanks.
excited. We're going to get turned off. I have a limited amount of time that I have on my Zoom, so we're going to get kicked off in a second. But so I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.